Oh, Jacob's here. Man, you just like showed up after the introduction, Jacob. Did you time that? You were just like, I got to be fashionably late, 10 minutes. All right. So we're gonna start it off. Thanks for joining up, both of you. Um, Jacob, before you entered, Marcus and I were just talking a little bit about what he does, and I'm going to give him the opportunity to reintroduce himself. I'll give you the opportunity to introduce yourself, and I'll start off by introducing myself and really moving on with what the highlights of what I'm looking for were to hear. I'm going to be mindful of Marcus's time because it is 11 p.m. For him right now, and he didn't schedule this. Somebody else did, and they're not here, so that's too bad. In that case, it's like I'm going to schedule it for a late time, and but props to Marcus for showing up. And he, what's that? Okay, good. Um, so again in mindfulness of that time, let's just get going. My name is Andre Davis. You can see everything that's scrolling on the screen, things that I'm associated with. That AndreMauriceDavis.com is where you can go and find any of my links to any of the stuff that I do for the most part. If you want to know more about me without asking me directly, but I'm easy to talk to as well. So, my goal in this Discord server is, without getting into the history and the broader topic, which we can get into um, later, but is to basically be a source for development. You could you could apply a label on it, and if you're going to apply a label on it, I guess apply the label incubator. I don't look at it as an incubator in terms of I have or the whatever the organization that is running this, whatever the case may be, uh, it has any control over or any rights naturally to anything that anybody does in here. I just want it to be like a library, basically. Anybody can come in, use things, talk, discuss, and grow. Um, I a quick reason why, a short reason and a precise reason for this, if I'm going to narrow it down to one reason, is I've worked at a lot of places. I've seen a lot of inefficiencies. I've seen a lot of people. Every time you walk into a new place, someone thinks that they have that unique problem that nobody else in the world has, and how is it ever going to be solved? And they can never get over these hurdles. And lo and behold, I come up with something that says, no, you can just do this, and it's fixed. Uh, and if every time I go into a place and I'm able to do that, that means that there's a lot of inefficiencies out there, and it affects my day to day life. This is selfish, sure. I don't like going into a business and dealing with inefficiencies. So if I can teach the world to think like me, I think that's a better thing. That sounds culty. I understand that. It's not my intent. It's I just I think it's I find myself in a position to be able to teach others, and I'm going to take advantage of that opportunity. Now, if I can benefit at the same time, then yes, I will do that, and I think I can benefit at the same time. So, by offering out this kind of education, this resource, trying to manage this environment, and building people within. So, Marcus, Jacob, Vanessa's been working, and then whoever else may come around. Um, my idea is, look, we're all learning together. Nobody here is coming at this from a perspective of they've got all this money that they're sinking in and investing. I'm not investing a whole lot of money except for to pay Vanessa at this point, and then to pay anybody that wants to be on this team. But that's small pickings, really. That if we're going to work together and learn together and build a business together, knowing that we're all coming from different places, we all have backgrounds of knowledge, and it's really just a matter of light the fire. Like we have the tools that we need. We just need to light the fire. If I think everybody on this call right now could think of something that they see online that says make blah 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 5x dollars, whatever, and you look at it and you say, oh yeah, why am I not doing that? I don't know why. I'm the same way. So here's me saying, hey, do it. I'm gonna go ahead and give you my support, and I'm gonna learn how to do it too because that's my motivation. I enjoy learning this stuff. I'm sure you guys enjoy learning this stuff. I don't want you guys to feel like you're taking a risk in anything you do, so I'll share that risk with you. I'll assume if there's a financial risk and it makes sense, I'm willing to assume that risk. Hopefully, you guys will be in a position at some point where you'll be free to say, "Hey, let's all kind of like invest, a couple bucks here and there. Do that." Really, I'd like to kind of get a good fund going to fund projects as we go. But I'm a big thinker. Like I think very far ahead. Um, and I don't want to go too much into the details there, except to say that I envision a empire-esque type thing without trying to sound crazy. Jacob knows me, Marcus, you don't know me, so it's coming off a different way for each of you, I'm sure. Um, so yeah, I'll leave it at that. I mean, I've been speaking for about 5 minutes or so, and I think that's a good place to pause and let me pass it over to Jacob to introduce himself. Thanks.
Going through the FDA, USDA, and I live in the state of Maine in the United States, and other regulatory compliances and forums, which is it's fun. I'll say that learning the different stuff there. What I'm looking forward to the most is the distribution, marketing, and pushing it out into the market. That's my little pet project I'm working on, and then Dre and I are always collaborating on different ways, but we can collaborate together on how to push this Discord channel forward and how to get more people involved, to get more expertise involved, and to hopefully grow the Discord channel and to create the empire that Dre is looking to create.
Great.
I do that.
Thank you, Jacob. Marcus, on to you, sir. And now I do have the audio recording, so um, uh, don't worry about repeating things, Marcus, or anything like that. Don't worry about doing it for the sake of recording, but introduce yourself. Assume Jacob wasn't here because he wasn't earlier on, and we don't have a recording of it. But now we do. So the floor is Marcus's.
So yeah, I am. My name is Mark, and I've been working as a content moderator and work setup specialist in a real estate company for almost 5 years. And yeah, it's fun and very challenging job. But yeah, I decided to look for a much opportunity and learn new things. So yeah, tried to email Andre. So Andre said early last we told that we are having a training for some rooms that we don't know, like marketing or something like that. And yeah, hoping to have a good collaboration with both of you and a good business. That's all.
That's great, Mark. Thank you. And sorry for calling you Marcus before. We'll stick with Mark. Oh, Vanessa is on just in time. My goodness. Okay. Are you guys seriously? Jacob, you timed it like, hey, I'm going to show up right after Mark goes. And then Vanessa, you timed it right after Mark goes. What's happening here? Mark, are you a bot?
No, no, no.
Hey, Vanessa, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm fine, sir. Sorry, there will be power interruption.
Oh, no problem.
That's yeah.
Understandable. You're just in time. So we were just introducing each other. Went through. We've been
I see.
recording it for the past. Well, for Jacob's introduction, Marcus's and introduction. Um, you and I have been talking and stuff anyway, so I think you have a good idea of where my stance is anyway. But you can certainly listen back to Jacob and Mark, but feel free to ask them for a filler in if you'd like to do that, or if Jacob and Mark would like to do that. Otherwise, Vanessa, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, please?
No moment. Okay. I I am Vanessa. Sorry, it's very cold here. I'm Vanessa. The social media strategist of the group. I'm a single mom but not ready to mingle. That's it. If you have any questions about any pending tasks moving forward, just send me an message on Discord. I'm usually available at night until early morning. Um, that's it.
Great. And then by night, is that night for you?
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
And Mark, for you, what's your? Actually, let's start this up. All right. I was going. So Vanessa and Jacob, I was telling Mark beforehand that I was asking him if he'd ever used PowerPoint for notes or like if he uses PowerPoint in general. He says he uses PowerPoint. He likes PowerPoint. Yay, we're past that part. And I asked him if he uses it to take notes at all, and he said no. And I use it to take notes. It's something that you guys might find useful. So I figured I'd just take notes now, show you how I do it as we go in this, and just as a little bit of example. So I can show you that I do know stuff sometimes. And let me just tell you this before we start going. The reason I take notes in PowerPoint sometimes is because most of the time, well, I shouldn't say most of the time, a lot of times in the situations I've been in where I've been asked to take notes, I've been asked to present that later on. So if you present something in, well, actually, we'll go back to, let me use an example while we're in here. Do, do, do. If we look at um, man, no, Discord. Here's the Discord server. So the design. So was it Vanessa? Was it Rebel?
Yes, I'm aware about that.
So Rayabel did this. So Rayabel did this, and she looked up elements for a Discord server. So if I am a client or in any sort of freelancing situation, or if I am a manager, or if I am whoever, a friend asking for help on something, and I reach out to somebody and say, "Can you help me with this?" I'm going to expect that they're going to give their personal spin on it because I don't have to ask them for help. I can ask anybody for help, but I'm choosing to ask them for help. And if I wanted just like straight information, then I would just go to Google and get straight information. That's not hard to do. I know how to use ChatGPT. I know how to use other AI tools. So, what's helpful when in terms of freelancing and providing information back and research is really the presentation because again you're gonna get the same information wherever you go, assuming it's correct information. So what you want to do is make it package it up to be your own. So this here came from Rarebell, and it's this actually. You know what? I may have jumped the gun. This actually looks like it's well formatted. I'm sorry if I said otherwise, but this one looks pretty good. There was something else I was looking at though. This isn't the link I was looking at. This is really good actually. I am sorry for slandering the good name of Rayabelle. This is excellent. All right. What I was looking at though, where is it? All right. There's a PDF I got at some point in time from somebody, and it was basically just a printout. So anyway, the point is you package it up, you make it look nice, and then it'll work all the way around. So as long as you're taking notes, you may as well start at the source. It's easy enough to go ahead and start your outline in PowerPoint, and then just jazz it up as you go along format. All right, so this one, what do we call this meeting, Vanessa? Vanessa.
Yes, I'm here.
What's the name of this meeting?
Team kickoff. Lining goes in building success.
You know what? And sometimes when I write, I tend to get a little picky. Learning goals. So by doing that, I'm starting off, and actually, this actually helps me right off the bat as I'm taking notes. I know exactly what it is. It's hard to stray off topic. So let's look. So then, if I'm doing a meeting note, and this is something you can set up as a template too. So you would just not fill in all the information. So the agenda. So what's the agenda? So we had the introductions, and then let's see. What's this part? What would we call this part that I'm doing? Anybody?
Action items.
Action items. And then oh man, action items seems like that's at the end. Like, don't you think? Okay, I don't think this is action items. Now I'm. It's. It would this still be part of the introduction? I guess.
Agenda.
We're in the agenda.
Oh, that's right. I'm literally on my phone. I zoom in.
I know. Sorry.
So you get the agenda, you get the introduction. So you got action items you need between introduction and action items. You're going to do talking points.
There we go. All right. Yeah. So talking points. That's where we're at now, and I think I'm just kind of explaining what's going on. So those talking points are going to be learning goals, obviously, because that's what we're talking of. Uh, Business goals. The learning goals will flow into the business goals. I don't have an agenda. I'm creating the agenda as we speak. So, introduction we've done. Talking points I'm doing. Learning goals will be next. Business goals will build off the learning goals. And then we'll get into the action items, which will be who will be doing what. Um, I'm going to put this up to the group for debate for 5 minutes. We can either determine what our time availability is now, or determine what our time availability is once we get to the action item stage.
Would it make more sense once you get to the action items, Dre, so we can go through the whole agenda essentially? Because without knowing what's actually be the action items, you can't really put a time on it. Unless you're saying a block of time associated with whatever action item you're looking for.
Mark?
Yes. Mm, I think introduction, because in introduction I will put the discussion we'll talk about, something like that.
Vanessa?
Same thing with Marcos. The introduction is the most important thing to discuss first before everything. Other thing. Others. Sorry.
Good. So, okay, so here's what I heard. I heard based on the idea of determining when people's availability is, like what we can offer for availability, what we're willing to offer. Um, Jacob is saying that we should wait until we get to the action items portion of it. Mark is saying that it should be in the introduction, and Vanessa is saying that it should be in the introduction and the thought process on that. It's the most important part of it. That's what I'm hearing from those answers. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Andrea, I can roll with the majority. That's fine.
What's that?
I can roll with the majority. I'll go with the introduction as well.
No, I mean, if that makes sense, don't just bow. Is there a better reason to do it in the action items than the introduction? I guess is the question then, Jacob.
I mean, that's just how I work in my day to day. I need to know the problem before I give you time to fix it.
Okay.
So that's just that's how my brain works. So
Vanessa?
Same for me. I need to know everything first. Determine what is the problem, the topic that we will discuss on that specific meeting before other important matters, as well as you mentioned, Jacob, action items later on. But we need to determine first what is the topic. So that's it.
Mark?
Hello, everyone.
Hey, is that Sean? Is that Sean's voice?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's Sean.
How goes it? All right. We were just discussing, and you can jump in and check on the recording and see where we're at. But at this point, we're discussing whether it's more important or like where we should dedicate our time. Basically, should we say up front and say I'm gonna give, I don't know, 5 hours of time uh, for something versus finding out what time is there and then saying, all right, I'm willing to give this much time based on what we're doing. Mark is up now.
Yep.
Okay.
I think
O- I feel in my own opinion, I feel it's best if people like know ahead, like you said, like hours ahead, something like that. I don't know. Does that make sense?
No. What? Say that again. Would you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Say that again.
Yeah, you were saying if I got you right, you were saying you guys are contemplating either to give people, like for example, give people hours ahead of time for their availability, or like just you know have to do it immediately. Is that what you're trying to say? Am I getting your point?
You know what? I think I know what you're saying in that case. So if you're saying give say X amount of hours. So if I were to say, Mark, you've got 4 hours to work this week, and then we'll fill in the business goals or the tasks that are related to that with that. Versus we've got these tasks and we've got this much time. Mark, you do this task, you get do this task, and that's worth X amount of hours. On Mark's end, Mark's responsibility is to say, well, I'm willing to offer X amount of hours for this project versus X amount of hours for a different project.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. Like, I feel we should um you should know the amount of hours you're able to like fill in for the particular project you're going to be doing.
Does that make sense to everybody else? Do you guys know what I'm saying there?
Yes.
Yes.
Vanessa?
Yes, sir. I already mentioned yes, sir.
Okay. So, okay, so in that case, then, the question is, and that goes back to that if we go with the pay structure, right? So, Vanessa put out the. Actually, I'll let Vanessa take over here. Vanessa, how did you explain what we talked about with the pay?
Regarding to pay, already mentioned before with I already discussed this Sir Andre about this. Are you okay with $2 per hour? That would be the starting salary for 10 hours a week. So, are you okay with that? Can uh, can you answer Jacob and and the others as well?
It's okay for me.
Jacob.
So I could barely hear, and this maybe it's my end.
So sorry. I repeat it again. Are you okay with $2 per hour? That is 10 hours a week.
Yes.
I don't know how to pronounce her name. Sean,
Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you.
are you okay with $2 per week for 10 hours a week, sir? Sean,
Sorry, can you repeat that? I'm finding it very
are
difficult
you
to get what
okay
you're
with
saying.
$2 a week? Hey, $2 a week, $2 per hour. Sorry, for 10 hours a week.
Yeah, yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Okay, they're okay with. Oh, that's
Okay.
it. Sure.
So so thanks for that confirmation. And then so that's the pay rate that we're able to go, and that actually works out well. It's funny when you first said that, Vanessa. I was like,
And
"What's
I Sir Andre.
mhm.
As well as with Ray, I already discussed it with her. It's okay with her about the $2 rate.
Yeah, Ray?
Rhea.
Raya? Is that what she go? Is that how she goes by? Raya?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I already discussed it with her. Yeah.
Okay. So the $2 an hour we've confirmed on. So everybody's good with that rate. So then it comes into the amount of time that you're able to put into it. So I'm going to clarify a little bit onto what Vanessa said. Uh, I'm going to allot 10 hours to Vanessa to manage everything. And I'm going to actually, Vanessa, I don't, I am saying this. I think you're doing an excellent job. What I want to do to build this group is to give people the opportunity to have different roles, right? So
Yes.
in the starting role, Vanessa is going to be and has been doing an excellent job of organizing and managing, calling this meeting, making sure that Rhea has been doing some things and all that. So what my initial plan is to say, okay, 10 hours to Vanessa uh, for a lot amount of time, and this is where we can start discussing uh, to go ahead and assign tasks as be essentially a project manager. She's coming into this as from a strategist background from YouTube marketing strategy, so this is a good uh, start fit for her and to learn as she goes because I'm tasking her with all kinds of stuff. She's been doing things here and there. So I think in a future conversation, what we can do, and maybe we can figure out that structure. Today, we've still got another hour and 20 minutes. So, um, how that rotates, or if it rotates, or whatever we want to do with that. But in any case, Vanessa's going to have 10 hours. She's going to have 30 hours remaining to spread out of work, of task work per week. So that's when it comes down to prioritizing what tasks are there along the way. Does that make sense?
And I'm using as well as a ClickUp just to for your information, but I'm just looking for other project management tool because there's a limit using ClickUp. So I'm just looking still finding the right project management tool as of the moment. So I provide an update later on about that.
Okay. So let's pay rate, pay hours.
So just to clarify, Sir
Yep.
Andre, those who didn't attend the meeting is not officially part of the company since they're not interested.
Right. Correct. Correct. So we'll at this point now. I don't know where Mark just went. I don't know if he got cut or just jumped off. In any case, it doesn't matter because the way the structure is, Vanessa, you've got 10 hours to manage 30 extra hours. So if those 30 hours are going to go between Sean and Jacob, that's fine. Or Sean and Jacob and Rhea. I'll include Rhea in that um, because she's been doing stuff. And I will include. There's a couple people that I want to reach out to again. I'll have you. We'll talk about reaching out to. So Jess, I think, and Chine. I think those two were on your list before, right, Vanessa?
Sorry, didn't I didn't receive any response from them, and so
Right. I've received messages from them outside of this, so I'm not going to discount them. What we'll do is I'll have you send out a follow up message with this recording of this meeting, and we'll schedule like one more meeting to say, hey, and we'll try to schedule it for a time that's like in their daytime. So I don't mind getting up early and meeting then. I know your schedule is one that accounts for this time, but I'll meet with them separately. That's fine as well. But
yeah,
we'll figure
okay.
that out. Um, there. All right. Pay hours management, and then I think management. We don't want to do ClickUp. Is limited. I would say, does anybody have any suggestions? I have a couple, but I want to hear what you guys have to say.
I could work with you Asana Monday.com, but it's not free.
Jacob?
Sorry, Dre, I was multitasking. What was your question?
You son of a bitch.
I know. Terrible, man. You know this.
So we're talking about payout, like tracking hours, right? So Vanessa is using ClickUp right now. Uh,
No,
she had
I have no
just
suggestions on this front, Dre. I don't know any software platforms that would.
gotcha, gotcha. Sean,
Yeah.
Also, I don't actually know any platforms. I don't know. I don't know. Even I don't know about ClickUp to be very honest.
Okay,
So I don't know any platform. So I don't know for now.
fair. All right, and I will say, you know what? It's too bad. Mark left, and we were talking before he left about uh, Google Sheets and stuff. So I would say we could use um, if we're looking cost effective, right? Is I think that should be the primary goal here because we don't have money.
I,
Uh,
hello, Andres.
yeah,
I heard I overheard from a friend that was working and was will get that was working was working on Upwork, and they had to take the job from Upwork outside Upwork, and they had to look for a way to get a tracker or something like that. So I could ask. I mentioned something relating to something like that, so I could ask what they ended up using then, and maybe I could get back to you and tell you about that. But for now, I don't think I know I know any other means like that.
no, that's fair. That's fair. I think I have a solution. I think what we can do, we can use. My question is basically, do we use Google Sheets? We'll start with Google Sheets. I know Google Sheets is free. I know we can use that whole workspace, that whole area for free. Um, and we can share files through Google Drive. I think what we'll want to do is create an account for our organization rather than set one up under a personal one. So, is anybody here uh, able to do that?
And my part,
What was that, Vanessa?
I don't know how to do that. Shared drive.
Okay, so what? Okay, so we need to know how to set up a Google account. All right, so let's do this. Let's do it right now. It's not going to take long. Um, let's come up with a name real quick. What are we going to call
Um,
this?
sorry, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Let me. We're trying to. You said we're going to be using Google Sheets for. We're trying to fix the tracker now, right?
Yeah, we're going to create a tracker. We don't have one.
Yeah, yeah. I went. This is very so easy. I actually went online and I checked, and I saw some couple of trackers that are free, and you know we could just check all of them out and see which is very effective and useful for us. I don't know
Yeah, can you
if
share your
that's
screen?
an option. Uh, no, I'm on my phone right now, so I don't think I can share my screen.
Okay. So, well, you know what? We can look it up. We can actually probably make one really quickly. In any case, we're going
Oh,
to need to be able to
I
share it.
can list them here. Like I'm seeing something like Clockify. I don't know. Then
All right. So, what are they
there's
called? Sorry, one sec.
there's
Clockify,
Clockify.
the one. Yes, then that is the time tracker that I've been using. Clockify.
Okay. What else?
Then there's I don't know how to pronounce it, but let me spell it. Toggl track.
Oh, Toggle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that one
Then
word?
there's there's rescue time light. Then there is my hour. Then there is ever hour. And there's timely. So I think these are low budget or free trackers I was able to see online. According to what's the saying here, I think they are low budget and free. Some are free and some are low budget, something like that. So maybe we could check them out and see which is best effective for what we want to use it for.
All right.
That best suits what we want to use them for.
So
I don't
let's
know if
do
that makes sense.
this. Here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna take a 10-minute break. Uh, I'm gonna leave this up real quick. So these are the options that we're going through. I believe that we can come up with a spreadsheet that will do anything that this will do that we can share. And I believe that we can do this in the Google environment. Um, think about that. And when we come back, we'll discuss and we'll make a decision as to whether we go with the Google environment or try to find a different platform. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I'll see you in 10 minutes, 11
Yeah.
o'clock. Or I guess that would be 12 o'clock for you, Vanessa.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Hey, Andre.
Ooh, and I'm back. What's up, Sean?
How you doing?
I've been good. This is fun.
Yeah, yeah.
I lost some people.
I actually didn't get a notification or like anything concerning the call. Like, I just, I was on my I just came on Discord to check, and I saw that a call was going on already. So I just had to jump in. You understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Um,
I think I forgot totally that there was a call scheduled for today or something like that. You
mm,
understand? So I was just like on my phone. Then I just went to Discord on my phone, and I found out that the call was already ongoing. So I had to like, jump on the call and through my phone, something like that.
yeah. As far as
So
when you showed up.
okay.
Mm.
So when are they going to be back on the call?
Get another. Well, it's just hit 11. Give it another. I'll give it another couple minutes, real quick. I'm texting Jacob right now. He had jumped off, so I'm just checking what he's up to. One sec.
Okay. I think considering what we were discussing earlier, I think what's it called? I think Google Sheet is going to make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I
Can you hear?
agree. I think that's where we'll start off
Yeah,
with.
yeah, yeah. Because I just remembered we could use formulas to create all of that, and you're a little bit pretty good with Google Sheets because I've seen you done some things with Google Sheet before, and you explained some things back to me then, and I've not forgotten about them. So I just have to refresh my brain. I'm like, yeah, we can actually use Google Sheet for this.
Yeah, that'll work. We'll do that. Let me shoot a note. I know Jacob's probably not going to jump on. Let me just double check with Vanessa. Actually, we'll do it this way. I think I can just do in the chat and call her. All right. Well, we've lost our moderator. All right. So here's what we'll do. Um, we don't have to create Sean. We don't have to create a new one. We
Okay.
have Genesis Material. You're very familiar with it. GenesisMaterials.org.
Yeah, yeah.
This works out very well. All right. So what I'll do, we'll need to get access to. Hmm. How's this gonna work? What's the best way to do this, Sean? My thought is have access to Vanessa or whoever's gonna manage this workspace. We need a
Okay.
workspace manager, right? All right. So let's do this.
Okay. Before we actually we need a workspace manager, but before we proceed to a workspace manager, I think there is something we should do before that, because I feel the workspace should be ready. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. We
the
can set that
workspace
up right now.
should
Let's
already.
do that. Okay, that's fair. All right. So here's the email. um, and let's go to the drive. Let's set up some folders. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So I think as you know, as we get into our talk here and we get into business goals, I think that Genesis Materials Shopify site needs to get started used. Um,
And also, I feel we are still, I think we still have unfinished business with Upwork. We said we wanted an agency with
oh
Upwork
yeah, yeah,
also.
yeah.
I think,
Actually, that Upwork agency should be the first one.
yeah.
Good call.
And I would also like you to add Bob also, because um
Oh,
I'm
Bubble.
I'm already I'm learning Bobu, and I have friends that are also into Bobu. It's just because some of them are just quite busy, and but it's something we can always work around. So
All right. So if we go, we started straying. We got straight off. All right. So Google Work Environment, Google Environment Workspace Manager. We're looking at the environment here, and the structure. Right now, what we've got set up are a few folders.
yeah, to actually set up the time tracker like you said, we have to just create a time tracking templates, so that it's going to have probably the date, um, the tax, or project, then the start time and just the end time. And there should be a formula to be able to calculate the total number of hours. So, and if there are extra notes, we can also add them. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. So we can also automate data entry also, and add filters for formatting. So I feel that's pretty yeah, that pretty makes a lot of sense.
Sure, let's do this. What was the other thing you said? Time tracker and what
So
else?
so let me just say it again. Let me say it again.
Hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So first, we want to create a time tracking template. So we have to include columns, which are dates, then tax or project, then the start time, then end time, and lastly the total hours that you used. So each we all know what each of this is. Date is to record the day of work. Then the task is to specify what you worked on. Then the start time when you started, end time when you ended when you finished. Then the total hours. So the for that total hours, they use a formula to calculate the hours you worked. So which is end time and all of that. That should work on Google Sheets. Then are you listening to me?
Yep.
Yeah. Then right here I have a formula we use for total hours calculation. Should I say that too?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um so to use format columns in time for Google Sheets, so we have text into brackets, into double brackets,
All
end
right.
time.
Sorry. Let's do this. Let's create a new sheet. Let's just do it. Let's just do it, man. All right. And we said we wanted these. Let's see if we can just copy and paste. Let's see if this works.
Okay.
So in Excel, you'd be able to like uh, transpose it. I'm seeing if you can do that here, and I don't see a way. So what I mean by that in Excel, if I were to do it here,
So we need like one, two, three, four, five, six columns. So there should be a column for like extra notes, or probably you want to say I worked on so something. I worked, or this or a feedback or something, or you understand what I'm saying.
right?
So probably we should add a column to that.
It doesn't let me do it that way either. Lame. All right, cancel. All right, enough playing around. Don't save. Oops. All right, so we got date, project, start time, end time, hours. Oops.
Uh, that should be total hours. Total hours.
How do you delete these rows? No. You said total hours?
Yeah, I can see your screen again. Okay, I can see now.
All right. And then actually,
Then can you hear me?
yeah,
Then just put a last column notes.
notes.
So for any extra details.
Okay. And date, project start time, end time, total hours, notes. We want an ID. So anytime we're working with data in terms of oh, Vanessa, there you are. How good is it? And Mark, you're back too.
Yeah, I'm sorry we get power interrupts.
Oh, no problem. No problem. I was wondering. Vanessa's had that same issue as well. So, it's great. It's all been recorded, so we can certainly see the recording. So that's why I record things. People, take a note. And you know what's funny? I asked Vanessa to include to bring a notebook and a pen because I had some ideas for something, but I didn't go that route. But if you're taking notes, great. If not, don't worry about it. I would say anytime that you're dealing with anything that's being recorded, just get the recording and have it transcribed. Don't take notes. Have it transcribed, and then use ChatGPT to parse any information that you want to parse and do whatever you need to do with
Yeah,
it.
and also Andre, I forgot. We wanted to integrate ChatGPT into Discord.
Yes, yeah, yeah. That's another thing. Yeah, let's put that in the notes before we forget that. Ooh, Good point. Thank you. Uh, or AI. All right. Ray has been uh, looking at just an update. Ray has been looking at Discord layouts, themes, and stuff. What I want to do is take what we're doing here on this Discord server, and this is in the launchpad area of the Discord server. But what I want to do is take what's here, make it a little bit easier to read, uh, more user friendly, and make that a paid portal to get through. So this Discord server will always be free, and anybody can join with an invite if they know how to get to it. Blah blah blah, and use whatever. But at the other Discord server, we'll charge a membership fee, and it'll be just organized a little bit better and managed and security and all that stuff. That's something in the future. We don't need to worry about that right now. Just a heads up.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so what were we doing here? That's the integration. We talked about that. Oh yeah, yeah. We'll go back over to. Oh, can did I spell toggle track right?
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Um, here we are. So we've got the date, the project, the start time, the end time, the total hours, and the notes. And this is we are talking about the what are we going to call the timesheet? Hours. What's the name?
We can just say a we can say time tracking templates, or we can just say time tracking or time tracker, something like that.
Time tracker. All right. So
Can
if
you hear me?
we, hmm, what did you say?
You were saying something.
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought you said
I
something.
said we
Sorry.
can call it time tracker.
Yep, time tracker. All right, so now we have time tracker. We have this sheet, and we will say, so if we look at this, we're looking at it by project because the only identifier here is project. We've got date. Let's the date and the project, but there could be several. There will be several people working on a project. Is that true or false?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
correct.
I can't even see who's on anymore. Hold on. Doo, doo, doo. Where'd my peeps go? All right, sorry. Let me say it again. You know what?
Yes, I'm
Here's
here.
all right. I heard Vanessa. I heard Sean. Mark, did you catch that?
Yes.
All right. So that makes sense. Good. Oh, you know what I'll do? Boom sauce. I'll use my space wisely. If I ask a question, uh, you know what? There. Now I can see you all. I was about to ask you guys to like type in the chat, but I think that's dumb. That doesn't make any sense. So this way we can only track it by project. So what we want to do, in our case, we're going to want to know because Vanessa's going to be signing hours, right, to individuals. We have to have a association with individuals. So let's throw another column in here. Uh, and what do we want to call this column?
I cannot see your screen, Andre.
You can't see my screen.
Yeah,
Look. Can you guys see my screen, Vanessa and Mark?
Yes.
Mark can
It's
see my.
too small for me.
Oh, it's very
Yes.
small. Okay. So Sean, can you see my screen and it's just too
yeah.
small?
I can see it now. Yeah, and it's very small. Yeah,
Okay.
can
Okay.
hardly see.
You okay? So right now you don't need to see exactly what it is, but let me expand it. All right. And what I'm saying is, right now we've got. Whoops, too much. Mas beaucoup. All right. So we've got date, we've got project, we've got start time, end time, total hours, notes. Date tells us when the project or when the task is being done. So this time tracker is uh, to track the hours that are done for something, right? So we know that
Yeah.
the day that it happens, right now we know which project it was for, we know when it started, we know when it ended, we know the total hours, which is going to be the end time minus the start time, and we have any notes based on that shift, I guess. Would we call it a shift? Is that appropriate?
Yeah.
Mark, Vanessa?
Yes.
What is your question again? Sorry.
It's appropriate to call this a shift time tracker, right? Because every record is going to be a shift.
Ah, yes, of course.
Okay. So what is the other if we're tracking shifts for people, what is the other column that we need to include? Does that make sense? Do you guys understand what I'm asking?
Sorry, what is the
Hello,
question
Andre.
again?
So if
Can you
we're
please
sorry, go on, Sean.
can you please repeat your question? I can hardly hear you.
Yeah, right, right. So if I'm looking at this and I want to track each person's shift, right? I want to know who is doing what on what project, what time they started, what time they ended, and the hours, and then notes about the shift that's pertinent. What am I missing for a column here?
So we can just say we can say um okay, I don't know. I don't know if this is appropriate, but something is popping in my head, like probably employee name. Is it no? Should I say or ID?
Yes.
Should we ID?
Hmm? The status of the report,
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
aside from
I hear you. So
To identify who the shift belongs to,
okay,
we can just use um we can
so
use
it's the it's the
ID.
status on the notes. After the notes, I usually put status on the shift, what happened on the specific day, not the employee name,
Or
because
we can just use team member. How about that?
each team member has their own separate shift tracker, so the other person will be able to see your time tracker technically. So
okay, this is a good point then. So if we look at individual team members versus the whole business, correct? The whole team.
Yeah.
Individually, you're saying, Vanessa, I think you're saying each person has their own, and then that gets submitted to the whole organization. So in our model here, Sean would have his own time tracker that he gives to you. Mark would have his own time
yeah,
tracker that he gives to you, and Rhea would have her own time tracker that she gives to you. And then you would compile all of that into one time
yeah, I'm the
tracker.
only one on the Google Sheet, and then submit it to you on a weekly basis. But
Right. So
the payment is every depends on the preference of the team member. But my preference is every 2 weeks, since that's what I might show. That is my choice.
So here's what we'll do because that just adds a step in between how we just described it. They'd be giving it to you, and then you would be giving it to me, which doesn't make any sense. Like you may as well just put it all into one. So if we're tracking it and saying, so we have the team member on there, so that we'll be able to say we'll be able to separate it. So, how familiar is?
Andre, sorry, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a little bit lost, but I don't really understand what the payment is actually all about.
Oh, getting paid.
Yeah. I don't really understand what that's all about. Like, it's like I'm lost. I'm sorry for that question, but it's like maybe you guys had some, discussion and conclusion, but I don't think I really track back to where that's coming from.
Absolutely, Vanessa. Could you explain that?
We're explaining about the they call this. I will be the one who consolidate the time tracker of each tip member, and then I will submit it to Sir Andre on a weekly basis.
Yeah. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the payment. Like,
The payment would be if you finish all of the tasks. I mean, the whole 10-hour shift, and on the whole for the whole week, you will submit it to me every Friday, whatever time that you are free to send it, the time tracker, and then after I consolidate everything, and then I will submit to Sir Andre. That's it.
mm, yeah, I get your point, but I don't think you're getting my point. Like, the whole payment, uh, the whole payment, I don't know, the whole payment stuff. Like, how did you guys come about the payment? Like, okay, let me ask more questions. Maybe you understand what I'm saying. Like, okay, we have team members, and this is like an organization, you understand? And we're going to be, to my own best knowledge, we're going to be doing different tasks. And
Mm-hmm.
it's more or less like, we're growing, we have taxes that we are all going to be learning from, and the taxes are going to be useful for like almost every one of us, and we're like growing and all of that. That's the whole purpose of Andre setting up this. To my best knowledge, I don't know if I'm wrong, but that's the whole point of Andre setting up this the discussion and all of that. So now I think there's going to be a payment now. So is the payment to, like, the question now is, what is the payment for?
For the test that you completed on that specific week. That is the payment.
Andre, are you there?
Yeah, yeah. I am. I am. Vanessa's
Yeah.
explaining it.
Do, do
She
you
got it.
do you Okay, so what you're saying is, you came to a conclusion that you want to pay each team member for each task they get completed for. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is the rate is basically on an hourly rate. That what I mentioned earlier. That is $2 per hour. So after all of the so that would be 10 hours a week. That would be accumulated to, for example, $20, and that is the only um salary that you will get for that specific week. Depends on how many hours that you completed the task.
So, Sean, I'll give you a little bit of clarification on that. And Vanessa explained it very well. Uh, but it's confusing because it's very new. Like it doesn't make any sense because I've never done anything like this before myself. So, basically, Vanessa has 30 hours to work with, like a pool of 30 hours. Anybody on the team is eligible to be assigned those 30 hours or choose to take those 30 hours however we decide to do that. But there are 30 hours available to you, Sean. There are 30 hours available to you, Mark. There are 30 hours available to anybody else on the team, Rhea. Um, Jacob doesn't. Jacob isn't part of the team in that aspect, so don't consider him as part of that pool. But right now, as Rhea said, if you were to do if we were to split it up evenly and just say, all right, every team member has an equal amount, you would have Sean 10 hours available to you. Mark has 10 hours available to him, and Rhea has 10 hours available to her. Vanessa will always have 10 hours available to her in terms because right now in her role she is managing everything that's going on. She's coordinating things, she's scheduling this meeting, she's dictating the tasks as I put them through. We're going to
And
have
not
these
dictating, delegating,
delegating,
delegating
sorry.
and coordinating the
My
task.
mistake. Yes,
I hate
delegating.
dictating, Sir Andre.
Vanessa doesn't want to go ahead and take that iron rule fist, but I know she will someday. Someday, Vanessa, you're going to be that power hungry person. I know it. Does that make sense, Sean?
Yeah, it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me.
Good.
It makes
do,
sense.
do we, oh, just to moving forward, do you have, we clarify any questions? Do you have any more questions, Sean? Sean?
So, to be very, very honest, I do have a lot of questions actually, but I think I might just, I don't know. I think maybe I should reserve my questions for now. I don't know because I feel I need a little bit more clarification. I'm not understanding what is really going on.
Okay, if you have any question, just send me a DM so we can move forward regarding for the other topics in the meeting. Is that okay with you, Sean?
Okay, okay.
Randy, you can proceed now to discuss other topics.
Thank you, Vanessa. Sorry, Mark. It looked like you'd come off mute. So, did you have anything?
And then it's all clear for me.
Super. Wunderbar. All right. So I think that is good. Learning goals we've kind of covered already. Bubble.io, marketing, ChatGPT, AI integration with Discord. We're coming up to 11:30 now, so I'm going to take another quick 5 minute break. When we come back, what I'm going to say is we're going to go over these learning goals. These are just what we've come up in the conversation thus far. Uh, think about what you want to learn how to do. These I pulled just from our conversations. I want to know specifics though. Like, what are you interested in? Like, is there something that there's a market of data? I can I can show you guys how to do a lot of things. I'm sure you guys can show us, everybody else as a group, how to do a lot of things. What are the things that you want to teach, and what are the things that you want to be learn? So I'll leave it at that. We'll come back in 5 minutes at 35, whatever the hour is. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
back a little early. How are we doing? So, Marcus, you're pretty familiar with Google Sheets, or Mark, sorry. I keep calling you Marcus because it says Marcus.
Yeah.
Do you, are you into formulas and everything else with Google Sheets, or?
Actually, I am not familiar with the other formulas because we're just the one who, the client, the one who gave the Google Sheet with formula. So we just inputted the data there.
Mm. Oh, there's some cool stuff you can do, man. So I so we're gonna get into it in a second. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give Sean a minute to come back, but before he does, and if he doesn't, it doesn't matter. I didn't mean it that way. That came out wrong. I didn't mean it doesn't matter. Uh, what I meant is we'll move on anyway. Um,
Yeah.
with Google Sheets on Upwork,
Mm.
one of the first jobs I done on there. Let me see if I can pull it up. Um, it was a some political campaign thing. They did work with politicians, lobbyists. Yeah, political lobbyists. That's what it was. And they looked up legislative bills. Um, oh man, where is it? I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to find it here. But anyway, I'll find it and I'll put it. I'll post it someplace in Discord later. But basically, they were interested in finding bills, like legislative bills that came up in Congress and the Senate at the United States House of Congress and House of Senate, and or Senate House, and they'd want to know what status they were in. So there are websites that you can go to that have the statuses and stuff. So what I did was I created a Google spreadsheet or a Google sheet that looked up it went into the internet and looked up the sites and like found it was a web scraping tool essentially. It was a web scraping tool that I made in Google Sheets. I'll find it and like pull it up there. But that's why I asked if you knew any formulas or anything like that because there are a lot of cool things you can do with it. It's the same thing with Excel. Excel's where like I learned how to use spreadsheets, but Google Sheets has some stuff that's Excel can do, uh, but Excel can't do a lot of things that Google Sheets can do, such as that thing that I just described. So, all right, we're 3 minutes into our coming back. I don't know where Sean is. We will move on. So, what did we say we were gonna think about while we were gone?
Learning that they want to know.
Say that again. Sorry.
I forgot. Learning is that the we want to know.
Mm, gotcha. All right, so on this list here, let's go through it. Bubble.io, marketing, ChatGPT, AI, integration with Discord. Is there anything in here that you were unfamiliar with?
I'm familiar with everything.
Okay. You said you're familiar with everything on that list.
Yes.
And Mark,
Except for
what?
Me,
analytics. Uh, except for analytics.
Analytics.
Analytics, workflow, and automation. That is important for me.
All right. And Mark.
Aut-
the same.
Okay.
Automation, sir.
Is automation like your number one, Vanessa?
Yep, automation.
So in this list, Mark, for you, what would be your number one?
Chat GPT integration to Google Sheet.
Okay. And I think these two things actually go hand in hand. So let's do this. Let's
And Andre,
yeah,
um, what is the first one on the top?
bubble. This one?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm very new for that.
You think that's important as well?
Yeah.
I think so.
Do you know what that is?
No, I'm not
No,
familiar with that software. No.
yes, same.
I didn't hear what you said, Vanessa. I'm sorry.
I'm not familiar with that software,
Uh,
although I'm updated for the newly released, but I'm not familiar with Bubble.
okay, perfect. So here's what we'll do. I will organize this here because I know what bubble is, and I think that'll make sense, and we'll explain it in a second, and then we'll go from there. Sound good? You have no choice. Just kidding. All right. So if we're talking about learning goals and what we have here, workflow. Okay, workflow is going to come as a result of learning this stuff, right? Automation, workflow is a huge part of automation. So here's what we'll do. Uh, Workflow. Feel like I broke something. Okay. Analytics. Um, Marketing analytics. Analytics is actually going to be part of marketing, so we'll put that as a tab there. So that we've see what we're doing here. We're trimming up what our like actual learning goals are. Like before we started off with however many there were. Now we're trimming it up. We're ordering it up. We're making this a lot easier ourselves. Bubble.io. What Bubble.io? You're right. It is a software, and I'll pull it up right now. This is gonna be gross, isn't it? Nope. Good. I think it's bubble.io. Yeah, I was right. So this is an app builder, and ultimately, this is where we want to get to. Like, we want to be able to go ahead and start building tools that will generate income, right? Ultimately, when we think about business, when we get down, whoops, get out of here. When we get down to our business goals here, we're gonna learn. But you know what? We can also make some money. We can do business as we learn. And if you think about the businesses that exist now that are successful, these are businesses that have just gone out and played essentially. I think that's all we're gonna do. We're gonna play a game, and you're getting paid to play the game, right? I'm paying $2 an hour to go ahead and start working this stuff out. And as you learn how to do it, you'll be able to do these things on your own. So if we think about um, our tasks and what our goals are going to be, our business goals are going to be, it's not necessarily our business goal is going to be do an Upwork agency, do a Genesis Materials Shopify store, distribute music, create a Roku channel with ad revenue. Let's see, um, ad revenue. Those aren't while those are the goals, that's not the goal. That's not the end result. The end result is like, all right, how do you make money? Like, how do you dip into this world that we live in and tap into the economy and say, well, how do I get some of that money? Like, you see all the learning tools out there and how to do that. Sure. Well, how do we do it? Let's just do it. And so automation is one of those things that I think is going to be a huge way to do that. We use something like Bubble.io here. We build the apps that support the ideas that we generate. I think that is actually ultimately with business. It's the idea is the most important part of it. The execution is the procedure. What we're going to do is learn the procedure. We're going to package the procedure, and we're going to keep teaching the procedure. We're going to keep teaching each other. We're going to keep learning from each other. We're going to show others, and we're going to do that for free. And then also we're going to make money on it as well. We're going to make money on the results. We're going to make money on whatever we do. Um, I'm going to stop right there. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
I heard somebody say something and I didn't catch who it was. I'm sorry. So does what I said make sense to you, Mark? Might be some audio disruption. Vanessa, how about you? Oh no. I'm gonna assume that there's some power outages, some issues going on. That's very common, and we'll go on. Let's see. All right. So for as far as the learning goes, Bubble.io is just an automation tool. Basically, what we can do, we will learn how to build an app, uh, no code. Sean has some people he knows who do this now, so I'd like to reach out to him and get those people involved here. Otherwise, we can go ahead and just work through the tutorials and take some of the ideas that we have and just build something out of it. I've got a couple ideas right off the top of my head that are very crude, very simple, uh, but they're doable. We can go ahead and put that in the action items at the end. We only have about 12 minutes left. Uh, are there anything else to add to our learning goals? Mark or Vanessa, anything else to add to the learning goals? All right. Potentially nothing to add, or potentially a connection issue. We'll go on to the business goals and wrap it up. So, Upwork agency, Genesis Materials, Shopify store, Warrior X Music distribution, and Roku channel. So the Upwork agency, I think, is going to offer us the most bang for our buck. Where we're all coming from a freelancer perspective anyway. I have an agency set up under the Genesis Materials name. Let's see if I can pull that up. Sean actually reminded me of it recently, and I'm paying $20 a month for it, so I may as well start using it. Um, I don't know. I believe it's under this. That's not it. I'll try this. So, um, do I have it on here? Um, Agency, Genesis Materials Agency. Yeah, so I've got an agency set up. So if anybody is on Upwork currently, I know Sean is, uh, we can figure out this agency setup and the best way to start working that way. Which is just what we're doing. We'll go ahead and um, I've got so many things that we could work on, so many business ideas, so many. If you look at the Discord server, there's a lot of content on there that's not close to half of the content that I have to put out. Um, but there's a lot of approaches we can take. We can go through physical location business ideas. So if there are things that you can think of, ideas that you have at home, like crafting type things, whatever, that's fine. Like, sure, it takes like the person to craft, but maybe we work together and think of like, well, how do we do this the best way? So if we're making hats or something, what's the best way to do that, and what's the best way to package them, and what's the best way to do that? So that would be like a physical location type thing. Um, Even if we were to actually take that out of the crafting hands-on manual labor, turn that into education, right? So how do we take what we're learning here and educate the people in our community with that same information and make money off it? Like, how do we teach classes to our neighbors, to our school children, to our children? And how do we give that away, and how do we make money off doing that as well? Um, oh no, I'm muted? Have I been muted this whole time? That's embarrassing. I have been talking for quite a while now. Vanessa and Mark, how are you?
Yes.
We're fine.
All right, so I've been talking for a while now. I've been muted. Uh, I do have a recording of this though, so you'll be able to hear everything I was just saying. um, what was the last thing you heard? I even come back on?
Um, I think you asked us if that makes sense. Um,
Okay,
what's the most?
so we talked about the learning goals. Everybody agrees on the learning goals. Does everybody agree on these learning goals?
Yes.
And there's nothing else to add to them. Okay. So with the Upwork agency, I'm sorry. So we'll move on to business goals. Business goals, basically, let me make it real short. Uh, we want to make money, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we want money.
Yes. Okay. So in order to do that, we have to have some sort of goals and figure out how we're going to do that. Like, we have ideas to go through and do that. So our business goals are going to be how are we going to go ahead and do that. So first is the Upwork agency. That's what Sean had mentioned. I completely forgot about. I have an agency set up that we can work through. So do either of you have Upwork accounts currently?
Yes, I do have.
Yes, I do, but I'm not um, actually active on the platform.
Okay, and that's fine. So what we can do then, and we'll talk to Sean as well. Uh, Figure out the best way to do this, but run the agency, right? So we'll do work through the agency. We'll combine our efforts and get jobs that way. We got to figure out how to market ourselves that way. I don't know Upwork. Um, so Vanessa, Mark, Sean, I've already asked. I don't think he has a strong understanding of Upwork. I don't believe he would necessarily have a stronger understanding than either of you. But if we have some ideas on how to market ourselves on Upwork and really push ourselves out there, um, in part of that is like giving away things, right? We've got to go ahead and put together some products that are like, boom, this helps a lot. Like, so that's going to be useful from you guys, Mark, and from Vanessa to say, hey, these are the things that my clients are looking for. These are the things that I'm offering. All right, well, how can we make that better? Like, if you showed your client this and they loved it, how can we look at that and say, well, what could we have done to make them love it even more and want to ask you for it back? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Vanessa?
Yes, as well.
Perfect. So, with the Upwork thing, what we'll do, our first thing with that is gonna when we get down into the action items. We've only got a couple minutes. Upwork agency, boom. Genesis Materials Shopify store. We don't have to worry about it like right away, but that's going to be an easy one if we want to learn about marketing, right? That's one of the things in our thing up here and analytics. I have a store set up already, which is here. I think it's under this, which is perfect if it is because if I think I've oh no I didn't do it in there. Boo. Cancel. Google. No. I don't have my phone up here, but anyway, I got a store. I can do this actually and show it to you. All right. So this store here is my clothing brand store, or brand store. Right here uh, is a hat from Genesis Materials. I can't even see if it's showing right now. Oh, there we go. Right there. See? A hat. Same hat that you see here. So this is a brand that I put out a while ago, and the idea behind it was to sell everything at cost or like at the lowest cost and possible for me to sell it, and then to allow tips at the checkout. So you would buy a product, let's say this shirt here. Checkout. I haven't actually gone through this. Okay, yeah, and then you go through and add the tip, and the tip would be basically what the profit is. Um, it hasn't. I haven't really put a whole lot of effort into marketing it or anything, but that's where this kind of all started in working with Sean. So, in any case, my point is that store is there, and so if managing a store is something that you are interested in or you think that we can make some money at, that's the way. Warrior X Music Distribution, there's a site called submithub.com. I've got a bunch of music that we can start working on to do that if we want to go that route. That, Vanessa, for you with YouTube, SEO management, all that stuff, that might be up your alley. Roku channel specifically, Sean has been something working on for somebody who's been asking for it. I believe it's a potentially good market that we can go down um, and get some ad revenue. Uh, and that's it for the business goals. Action items. We're at 12:01 now. I have run over. That's my mistake. I apologize for that. And I will open it to Mark and Vanessa to give any closing thoughts.
Uh, Mark, you can proceed, Mark.
Me, as of now, I think it's more new things for me. So as of the moment, I can internalize everything, but let me think it first of myself. And if I have more questions, I am going to DM Miss Vanessa.
Any thoughts? Is I'm excited about the future. I'm the about the future of the company. That's all I can say.
Yeah, me too. For the growth of the business.
That's awesome. That's great. I'm so happy to hear from you guys. I'm here to hear about that excitement. I think this is, for me, this is very scary. I'll be very honest. I don't know what I'm doing. Uh, and
You're scared with us.
what's that?
You're scared with us. We're the only two.
Absolutely. We'll all be scared together then. So thank you so much for jumping on board and moving forward with this. It's crazy. It's fun. I think we can do a lot with it. As far as what we've missed out, as far as the action items, what I will do, I'll generate a short list of action items to give out to Vanessa, and she will have answers for you, more clear answers for you, Mark. Um,
Yes.
right now, she's not going to have anything other than what you know. So give me at least until tomorrow for me. Give me 12 hours, and I'll put that together for Vanessa. She'll reach out and make any announcement she needs to make. I will go ahead and take the recording of this video and post this up on. I'll give it to Vanessa, or Vanessa. Where should we post it?
Google Drive. Only Google Drive.
We're gonna put this. Okay, so we'll put it in the Google Workspace there in the Google Drive. So I'll put it up there. I'll give Vanessa access to that email address so she can go ahead and send out invites. Vanessa, are you gonna need? No, you can just post a link, right?
Yes,
Okay.
only a link.
Okay, perfect. So, Mark, you'll have access to the link. Wherever she puts it, she'll coordinate that appropriately. But my job will be to get it available to Vanessa, and she will distribute it as need be. And then I will put the action items as need be as well. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Awesome. You guys are
Lunch
awesome.
break. Yay!
Thanks so much. I'll talk to you guys later, all right?
Okay, bye bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you.